UK black British culture right now is very, very valuable. So what's happening is a lot of companies are running around and putting money in where they can, because by putting money into black British culture, there is an audience there. Not only a black audience, but there's the word urban, meaning you can go into Leamington's bar or somewhere like that, and there's guys who are into black British culture. Yep. Rap is black British. UK rap is black British culture, no matter how you want to spin it. So I say all of that to say this. These guys see things going on in the world, yeah? They're forgetting that they're an employee. No disrespect to Stormzy, but when you're signed, that's someone who's made an investment into you. So you come along and they say, yo, sing for me. You sing. Oh, that sounds good. You can maybe do an album or something. Yeah. You know what we'll do? We're going to put some money up into this thing. We're going to put an investment into this. Put money into the project. You put out an album. You become a star. But guess what? You are still someone's investment. So when all these worldly issues and conflicts are going on, and you decide, I'm going to go out there and speak up for these situations, now your manager spins the block and says, yo, McDonald's have made an offer. People, do you think, and we're going to cover all angles, we're just warming up, do you think that Stormzy's manager is going to come to him and say, McDonald's have got an offer, and he's going to turn around and say, I'm not going to do it because of the conflict?
Get the fuck out of here, man. Please.
We're going to break it down, man.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
People, one thing about UK culture, what you need to understand is that we're still in our infancy of being successful in this culture. So when you hear things like, this man's worth 20 million, that man's worth 30 million, if you're worth 20 or 30 million, what does that give you, people? It's supposed to give you freedom. Am I lying, Noble?
Come on.
Now, with that freedom, one of the things with that freedom is doing things or not doing things that you don't want to do. So if a company like that comes along and you're truly against whatever's going on, which we'll talk about that down the line, you should easily be able to say, I don't want to do it. You see what I'm saying? Because you've got 20 million. But it goes to show me that a lot of these numbers are inflated. That's the first thing. And the second thing it goes to show me is that a lot of these guys jump on things. They don't really have no understanding of the thing, no knowledge. But they say it because that's what gets the clicks. That's what gets the engagement. No disrespect to Stormzy. This is a problem with all of them. France, something goes on in France. Every man comes out saying the same thing. They don't even know what's going on over there.
Change their profile pictures.
Exactly. That was a popular thing to do at the time. It was very popular to do at the time. All these guys were doing it. All of them were coming out. But do they really stand by what they were saying? That's the first thing. Do they really believe do they really stand by it? To where money's going to come and they're going to say no. The issue comes in where he made a post showing his support for the Palestinians, allegedly deleted that post when he done this deal. That's where the backlash has come in. A lot of these guys are Muslim for the photo ops, are Muslim when it's Eid, are Muslim to use words like Wallahi and man say all them words, and on Eid take a picture, it looks cool, all the rest of it. But are you really and truly living that way? A man like Stormzy putting his brand into that, you have to stand by it now. Once you make a stance to come out and say something against something, you got to stand by it now. Because you now hurt your brand by not doing that anyway. Now, the fact that he's turned around and took this McDonald's deal, which we're going to cover all sides in a second, that shows you that he probably didn't mean those. He ain't standing by what he said.
Stormzy's recent McDonald's partnership packages his go-to order as a limited meal option which the chain has dubbed the Stormzy meal, containing chicken nuggets, fries, barbecue sauce. Was it zero
Sprite,
Sprite
McFlurry,
and
Oreo.
a McFlurry? Yeah. Zero Sprite with no real sugar in it, aspartame, saccharose, and all that madness in it. That's what we're talking about. That's why he's put his name to. Yeah, in the recent conflicts, which is still taking place, where the slaughter of so many innocents are happening, he came out on the old Instagram, pro-Palestine. Yeah, there's a litany of companies that most people who are pro-Palestine are saying, based upon your action and your business dealings, we do not support Coca-Cola, we do not support McNasty's, and there's a whole host of corporations. Now, this is a slap in the face to all those people. That means words, posts mean nothing. Your word is not a bond, because when business comes into play, you are a prostitute. Please continue, sibling.
That's a fact. E42, big up Western, big up. That is an absolute fact. Most people put out those pro-Palestinian posts because it was trendy to do so at the time. A post is not showing your support. Showing your support is rejecting a deal like this. Now, this is why I say that man like Benjamin Zephaniah need to be saluted at the highest level.
Come on.
Because back in the day, he could have took the OBE, could have took it. That would have pushed him to another level. He didn't do it. Now, I'm not saying Stormzy has made a decision that is personal to him. He's made, to be honest with you, I'm going to say it like I said at the start. He don't own his brand is owned by whoever invested. When they come to him and say, this is something that we need to do, this is what makes sense for us, that's something that he's got to do. Don't never judge a man based off of his words or what's being said. Judge a man based off his actions. So, okay, let's talk about Digga D. Now, I said this last week, but I'll say it again. My man was one of the poster childs for jewelers trips, drone shots of going into the jewelers, slow motion gimbal shots, cinematic shots of walking into a jewelry shop, cinematic shots of walking out of a jewelry shop. Why am I saying all of this? I'm saying all of this because these men want to give the perception that they are spending tens, if not hundreds of thousands on these items. Now, I was born at night, but not last night. If I'm making as much bread to where I need cinematic shots, I know how these shots work now, but it's not no easy thing. A cinematic slow motion walking in to grab an iced out watch. But then I'm selling weed.
Make it make sense.
But then I'm selling weed. So this is what I'm saying. Stop lying to these youth, because they now believe that you're making this bread you're saying you're making. But if you were, and let me say this again, if you were making that kind of money, you're not selling weed. And if you was selling weed on a thing where I still got some brethrens back there that want me to invest in this thing, what's the famous Jada Kiss of it? You get it from the workers. I don't F around with it. So, man are getting caught actually hands-on with the bud. So I'm saying, you man are fooling these youth into believing you are really getting this money. You're not. Which is why you're now seeing that they're making decisions that you're thinking these men are Muslim, innit? Like, these men, I've told you, not Stormzy again, I like Stormzy, but a lot of the wider guys, every track, shoot 'em up, bang, bang, I'm a gangster, I'm the realist, I'm this and that. Eid comes, man, they're praying, talking about Wallahi. I'm like, yeah, what the hell? I don't want to judge no man, because I'm not judging anyone, but you guys are fake. You fake. So it's trendy to free Palestine. It's trendy. So a lot of man, they jump on it. Really, they're not real. They're not real. They're not real about what it is that they say they're standing behind. Again, Stormzy is a man who has been invested in. As much as he's successful, you got to give him that. As much as he definitely is in and around the community. I don't know him personally, but based on what I've seen, but he's an investment. And whoever made that investment ultimately made that decision for him to step out on that commercial. Simple as that. And just like how I say, you know, go back a few weeks ago and listen, I'll say it again. There are groups of investors that need a way in to our community. These rappers, these podcasters, these personalities are their way in. So they're coming up with all kind of plans. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to give you this. You're going to say that. You're going to take these photos and you're going to say this script. That's what you're going to do because we need that black pound strong. Don't ever make them tell you, that black pound is not strong. That black pound strong like muscle, man. Very strong. And a lot of men want to tap in because we are consumers. We consume. What did they do with that Stormzy meal? Look, we'll put the ad on. We'll put the ad on in a sec. Look at the Stormzy meal. They've used his voice, and put it on all the people. The marketing's genius. He couldn't have turned it down. People, I don't know which part you're not understanding. He couldn't have turned this down. I want to speak to my Muslim brethren in a second, but he couldn't have turned it down. He couldn't have. He couldn't have. When his management come to him, they're not asking him. People, they're selling. Big up Stormzy. This is not a disrespect to Stormzy, but I gotta keep it real with people. They're selling these men as bosses to our community, but these men ain't bosses outside of the community. No disrespect to them, but when the management steps in and says, family, listen to me. We've got a new meal coming out. Listen to my words. They're going to check him. This is how the convo would have went. I think his real name's Michael because they wouldn't call him Stormzy. So he'd be like, Mike, how you doing? Yeah, what you saying, bro? What you saying? Hear what, Mike? I got some great news for ya. We are now partners with McDonald's. For real. Yeah, you've got your own meal coming out, mate. Oh my, I've got my own meal. Yeah, the rollout's happening on the 3rd of February, mate. It's going to go, it's going to be absolutely crazy. No way, I can't believe it. All right, we've sent you over an email. It's going to show you exactly how much you'll be paid. It's going to show you exactly what you need. That's how it would have went. Central C can't do all the brand deals. There's going to be a lot of man you see, lower end man as well, where there's people with products that go and tap into a rapper, give him some bread, tell him to market it like it's his and all them kind of things. I'm keeping it $1 trillion right now. And that's what happened with Stormzy. And again, I'm going to say this because I'm going to talk to the Muslim brethren in a minute. But I'm going to say this. The same folks who told him to take the McDonald's deal would have been the same folks who told him to make that post. That's a fact. My man probably won't say that because he can't. But the reality is you are you're a man's investment, which is cool. You've done well for yourself.
So the management encompasses not just a manager per se. We got marketing behind that there. In that there, we got the PR, the public relations. We got the social media side.
There you go.
We got the legal side. Yeah. We've got so many different trees and branches from this tree, which is sustained by the character. So he may not even touch that thing. He may have the Instagram thing loaded up on his thing, and he can post. But I would imagine a lot of them posts, he ain't even doing himself.
He'd have to show the post. He'd have to show the PR first.
And yes, this is the thing.
He probably didn't even make that post. He'd have to show the PR. And what I watched a couple man before we started the stream today, and all these men are on his, my man sold out. My man did this, and I'm thinking no one has said the reality. Does he have the choice to say no? Does he even have the choice to turn around and say, I'm not doing that? Because you might say that. Remember, it's a revolving door, people. No matter how you want to believe that man are anchored in this thing, it's a revolving door to where a man can say, okay, your time's over then. Oh, you're not doing that. Oh, you think you're the boss. Okay.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
That's all man will hear.
Please get the fuck out of here, man.
Okay, look at clause 3.14, subsection B and D, and you tell me if you're not going to do this here.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to take your ass to court then. Oh, Stormzy. Oh, okay. you've got a reported 20 mil. We're gonna drain that 5 years. We're gonna take you through court. We're gonna win, and you have to pay our costs and damages. And I've looked on 2 different sources. When you're talking about the decline in sales, they're talking about a decline in sales. The latest one I've looked at is saying McDonald's reported global sales decline for the first time since 2020, with net profits declining by 12% compared to the same time last year. Now, another report on The Guardian, I believe, was saying it's only down by 1%. So, and also Starbucks are losing. They're losing out on money. So, of course, it makes sense. Of course, it makes sense because dinosaur and legacy media is failing. No one's watching television. Even big grown adults, they're rarely watching television. You know what I mean? They got their smart TVs and they're watching the Hulus, the YouTubes, and all that. So they know it's waste of money. We're going to reduce the amount of money we spend on marketing, on legacy, dinosaur media. And as Mark's highlighting and is breaking down so eloquently, we're going to diversify that fund into these influencers, into these Negro communities, into the Latin communities, specifically within the wilderness of North America and in Latin America. That's what we're going to do, because that's what's going to yield the bigger return on investment, the ROI.
Exactly.
This is going to increase our declining 12% decrease in sales because of the Gaza thing, because of the zombie apocalypse, because of the cost of living. There's so many factors that come into the fact of this decline in sales.
Exactly. It's even all the videos that are up now cussing Stormzy are advertisement of the meal.
Come on.
Remember, these men that are in that music world, I'm talking about the guys behind the scenes, they understand this. They understand that the marketing is powerful. So when they've gone to Stormzy now and said, yo, you've got a meal, they're not asking him. They're telling him, you've got a meal and this is what you're going to do. You're going to promote it. You see what I mean? And that's all it is. So this is why we talk about, when we speak about ownership and we speak about majority ownership and things of that nature, the reason why we elaborate on that so much is because the majority shareholder is the one who makes the decisions. So with Stormzy, if he is an owner, if he truly believes what it is that he posted a few months before this deal, then he wouldn't have taken the deal. So what we say must be true, because if you really believe that, you wouldn't have taken the deal. Now, let me speak to my Muslim brothers for a second, and you have to understand that these man, your plight, what's going on over there is bad still, like real bad. But you can't expect these man to be that patriotic to your cause. I hate to say it, because these men are African first, before anything else. And Congo and all these other different things, they're not vocal about them things. So you have to look at them with their own thing, they're not vocal. So you can't expect them to stand on any kind of principle. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to your thing, because they don't stand on principle when it comes to their own thing.
Their own thing.
But you can't expect my man to be the voice of the campaign. You can't.
You raise an excellent point
You cannot.
in relation to this, because that's a valid point. And if we look at it, if you look at Islam in its entirety, you know, if you're Islamic from whatever country, if you follow the deen, you know, they're all brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? So wherever in this plane of existence where you're Islamic and there's problems over there, yo, that's my brother and sister first. Yeah, we need to do something to help, and that's what they do. It's a huge, religious community, because it surpasses color lines. So
Supposed
in that
to.
respect, yes, of course, it's supposed to, but we know that there is, yes. So in that respect, they've got huge support, billion odd plus people. Yeah, they've got that there. Then they have people who aren't within that faith who are saying, yeah, man, I can clearly see with my 2 eyes, I can hear with my 2 ears, and I will speak with my 1 mouth. Yeah, that is wrong what is taking place. But there's a certain level you'll have people which is word is bond, and that is what it is. Yeah, man, I will go as far as support you brothers and sisters, the Akis, right, and not frequent McNasty's, not frequent Starbucks. Do those things. And there were people who just no, I'm just vocal about it. I will post on social media. So you've got to. Unfortunately, this plane of existence, there isn't equality. Unfortunately. And you can't dictate what equality looks like, you know what I mean, and how it's manifested in the physical. All you can do and all you can influence, and this is everybody, is influence and change what you can change in your own circle. You can come together as a collective, and as a collective we can try and do some things, and that's what's being done. But we can't shit on Stormzy like that. Say, oh, yo, you posted that thing, and now you're doing the McNasty's thing. That's surface level.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
you can't hold him to that.
Yeah, I mean, like we get it from the surface. Yeah, there's a bit of outrage, but then, as most people are supposed to do, is to critically think and say, okay, the veneer of this, the outside of this, that decision looks awful, but did he have the creative control to say, not. You know what? I don't want to be involved in McNasty's because of what's going on currently. If you'd have come and checked me pre-zombie apocalypse, yeah, I would have been happy to do the damn thing. But now with whatever is happening, no, let's put the brakes on that. He doesn't have the control to do that.
He don't. And this is what not only the youth, but this is what people need to understand, that you are a product. As much as man can come back to the community and say, I'm successful A, B, or C, which you are within reason. But the facts are that we don't seem to transcend being a player all the time here in the UK. A lot of men are happy being a player, you see what I mean, being a part of a game and getting paid the trinkets for doing so. Whereas it takes a different kind of man to know, I may not see this take off. You see what I'm saying? Like, for conversation's sake, if you look at the UK rap scene, yeah, right now, there are a lot of people who didn't get to see that take off. You see what I'm saying? They didn't get to see the day where it became mainstream. They never got to see that day.
Look how much money they put into it. Look
exactly.
At the art that was created.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You have to respect everyone who came before who's shining now. You have to give them them man's walked so you could run. And that's the same. That's what it would be if man start dealing with real building, real ownership. Then you could he could make that decision. I'm not doing that. But he's gonna do it. Nah, I'm not doing it. But when you are managed and when you are an investment, a man's gonna say, well, you haven't finished paying me back yet. So what are you talking about? Matter of fact, take the contract that you signed to your lawyer and let him look over that and tell you the ramifications of you saying you're not taking that. People forget it's a business world. And again,
they do that, Mark. They do that. They do get there. But see, this is the thing, and I think we're addressing it now, right now specifically.
Yeah.
Business needs to get done. To go to certain heights. Fortunately and unfortunately, we need to deal with corporations, huge corporations, in order to do that. Now the difference is having that business mind, that contract mind. Okay, so I've hired this lawyer. I'm paying his retainer is, let's say, 10 grand a month to retain him, so I can call him and send him emails about whatever contracts. Okay, that's blessed. Is he actually? How much work is he actually doing? What instructions have I given him? The brief is, so let's paint the picture. I'm now this character named Stormzy, yeah? So I'm going to get signed to the major label. Okay, blessed. Okay, you're going to advance me this money, blah, blah, blah. This is the returns. This is the percentages I get. Okay, the 360 deal, no, I'm rejecting that. But this is how we're doing it. Send me the contract over. You go through this contract, Mr. Lawyer, yeah? This is my expectation. Likeness, all those things. So you dictate the pace, just like let's take it to a lower level. I am in the job market. I attend an interview, and they say, "Yo, Noble, you fit everything that we were looking for. I'm going to send the contract over to you, formalizing all of this thing, right? We spoke about, the recompense, I then get the contract through. Do I just go straight to the bottom of that contract and sign it and send it back? Or do I look through that there? Then look at the employee handbook and then circle things and say, okay, I'll send that back via email. Please note, I have highlighted some sections that I'm not happy with that need to be taken out, and here's some additions. Man, woman is not doing that. We at a low level, we can do that. This isn't
but we don't. Even when it says accept cookies on the website, 95% of men don't know what that even means, and they accept everything. And then once you accept everything, and then you've searched for some new pair of jeans, and then you're on another website and you're seeing all these jeans on the side, and you're saying, hold on a second, how did they know that? Because you've accepted cookies. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing. Stormzy, again, from his side, I'm going to say he never had no choice. You know what I mean? That's how business works. And that's why when we're talking about ownership, we're solely talking about it based on decision making. So when people say things like, oh, it's better to own something small than something, it's better to be a small fish in a big pond than a big fish in a small pond. That's the notion, and which can be true in a lot of cases. However, when it comes to your principles and your morals, a lot of men are doing things that they don't want to do. Right now, there is a market emerging where companies have to account for the urban world. Yep. I stated it last week. So they may have a list of 5 rappers, 5 podcasts, 5 influencers, and then they'll marginalize that list and say, this is who we're going to go with. Now, this might be small local projects. It could be a man might be opening a pizza shop locally and say, yo, I need to tap into the local known person, because once they put that all over their socials and stuff, it's advertisement.
Come on.
It's very good advertisement, and that's all it is. So Stormzy did that, and he understands, and not him, but his management, he definitely understands, but his management understand it's too big of a deal to walk away from. So now they've probably gone back and deleted the pro-Palestinian post to say,
according to his management, I've looked at that one, that all of those headlines, and according to his management, it's in archive and it hasn't been deleted at all.
The facts are, though, they took it down. They took it away from the public. And if you're putting out a post in support of a genocide, why would you take it? Why would you archive it at any point? So that's what's happened, but he's the one who's taking the flack for this. But if he was on this stream right now and talking the real, he'll tell you, yo, I had no choice. He'll tell you that himself. He'll tell you, yo, when I'm not to say that he didn't want to do it, but I'm saying if he didn't want to do it, you got no choice. You got zero choice. You have to make back that money. You've got to make the money back.